Ever wonder if you have ever been abducted by aliens? Not only did Meng's regression show him that, yes, indeed, this did happen, but it also showed him that he has hybrid alien children that he has indeed met and will meet again in 60 years. And the plot only thickens from here. Welcome to Soul Spy University, where your souls can run free and your minds are free to expand. This mind-blowing episode will definitely have you at the edge of your seat today. But first, this episode is brought to you by your likes. Yes, each and every like that you guys give us means the world to our channel and shows YouTube that you like content like this, so you will get more of it. Also, sharing is absolutely phenomenal for us, you, and the person whose consciousness that you are expanding. Subscribing, we love our loyal subscribers. If you are not already part of the family that we love so very much, it might be an amazing idea so that you don't miss out on the next groundbreaking story. Okay, diving right in. Tommy, what do we have here? This is the best story that I've heard in a while, and I hope this guy's doing okay. Please go ahead.
All right. Well, this takes place in China. This is considered China's #1 UFO incident, and it's still talked about today. Now, this took place in the Phoenix Mountains in northeastern China in 1994. And the person of interest is Meng Zhaoguo. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong, but it's a little difficult. And so Meng was a forester, and he hunted root vegetables, basically wild root vegetables. And that's what he did for a job. He only had like a 5th grade education, so and he lived in the village, so didn't have a lot of big opportunities out there.
Yeah.
So on June 6th, 1994, Meng, his cousin, Nezuma, and a bunch of other people were out in the forest hunting for root vegetables. When in the distance on the mountain, they saw what looked like glowing, well, not glow, but like the reflection of the sun was hitting a white surface. And this was summertime, so they were like, they're all trying to figure out what this is. And some of them were like, maybe it's just a lot of snow that is too thick to melt completely.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever, they didn't think much of it. So they went back to their work, and then they went home. The following day, Meng decided to take his cousin Nezuma and just check it out, just to see what they can see. Because it's a farming village, so anything is amazing to them. So they climbed, and when they were about a mile away, they can see it. It was not snow. It, in fact, was a spaceship. They didn't know it was a spaceship. They just thought it was like a ship. It was pure white, and it had 2 tails. A tail, and then it split off into 2. And it looked kind of like a tadpole.
Wow.
And it wasn't very large. It was, I would say about 40 to 50 feet. Wasn't very large. So Meng got in his head that, hey, we can, get a few people, drag this thing back to town and sell it for parts. They didn't think anything of it being a spaceship. They just thought, hey, this is a cash opportunity here, people.
I thought it was like a crashed Hyundai or something.
Yeah, exactly. So they went to go check it out, and when they got within 200 feet of it, they were pushed back, and they had no idea what it was. So they were like, "What? That's weird." So then they tried again. When they tried again, a loud horn sounded like a broken car horn. And at that point, Meng and his cousin took off and running. They're like, all right, somebody obviously doesn't want us touching this. When they got halfway down the mountain, they all of a sudden started getting incredibly dizzy, and they all both started getting pounding headaches, and their vision started getting blurry. So they thought maybe it was from exertion, but then again, they didn't think anything of it. It was no big deal. It's just a coincidence, and they made it home. The following day, I'm sorry, when they got back to the town, they went straight to the police station and talked to the leaders and told them, "Listen, that's not snow. It's some kind of ship, some kind of thing, and we have to." So uh, on June 9th, the officials of the town, Meng and his cousin, and about 30 other people went up to the mountain to go check it out. So when they were, because it was a mountain side, you could see pretty far away with, like just your eyes, but they used binoculars to check it out when they got within like 11, 12 miles away. And most of them were like, I can't see it. I can't see it. There's nothing. What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
Hmm.
So Meng took the binoculars, and when he was looking through it, he goes, "Look, I see it. It's right there." And he pointed at it, and he's like, "I see it right there." And when he was talking, all of a sudden he dropped the binoculars and started. He fell on the ground and convulsing violently.
Oh my God. Oh,
And so everybody like was freaking out. So they picked him up and they brought him back to town. And they put him in a what is it called?
a heart?
No, that'd be hilarious. No, they put him into like why am I blanking on this name?
Garbage can?
Basically like a little like hut, a grow house. They, and for some reason, I don't know why. I guess they didn't have much space, so that's where they put him. And he continued to have convulsions throughout. And it took 4 men to like hold him down and get him in there.
Okay.
So finally, he stopped. The convulsions stopped.
Oh.
And greenhouse, that's what I was looking for. Greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next morning, they got the doctor to come see him. They took him to the doctor. So they took him to the doctor, and he was like still kind of in a coma, but not really. He was in and out. And so the doctor started checking him. He noticed that underneath his eyes, he had burn marks where the binoculars would be. And so he went to go check him out with the stethoscope or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And when he got close, that's when Meng started convulsing again. He started freaking out, like in pain, moving away. So the doctor's like, "This is weird." So he tried again, and then again it happened. Then he noticed like it's like once anytime he tried to get near Meng with metal is when he started convulsing. So he figured, if I can't check his heart, if I can't do my work, I can't help him.
Uh-huh.
So he left. They left him there to get better on his own. Basically, they just monitored him.
That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah. Oh well. So they left him there, and he finally got better. And so the next day he went home, and they started getting around town, and they started calling people, and it got into the local newspaper, whatever the local newspaper is for the town. God knows how far away. So they send an investigator over to Meng's to see what this is all about, if this is real. And before they even got there, there was plenty of people that actually saw the thing the first time, and Meng's cousin and all that stuff. So they were all, telling him, "Yeah, this is real. This is real. We watched this whole thing. So odd." So they went to Meng's, and this is also called the China UFO Association. That's the name of it. And they asked Meng, "Hey, tell us all about this. What's going on?" But Meng lost his memory.
Oh, they took it.
Sorry. When he woke up from the hospital, in the hospital, he knew who he was. He knew his wife. You know, he knew everything normal. But he was missing a huge gap of time.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. Wow.
So the guy was like,
That's common, by the way, guys, that people that have experienced abductions, they might not even know they've experienced abductions, but they'll notice missing time. If they notice, that's the first thing they notice is missing time. But go ahead, Tommy. This is fascinating.
so a few days later on June 16th, Meng tracked down the investigator and is like, I remember everything. And so he told him about how him and his cousin went and found the ship. He told him how the first time they saw it, there was snow. He told him about the horn. He told him about the force field. Then he told him about the binoculars. And he goes, when I first saw it, I saw the ship. But then I saw a giant man kind of blur out of the ship, look directly at me. And he pushed his hand towards me, and the light came out. And when he raised his hand, it shot out like a beam of light at me. And that's when I fell to the ground. But I was not unconscious. I remember everything that was going on. I remember them bringing me to the greenhouse. I remember the doctor trying to do examinations. I couldn't talk. I couldn't move. And he goes, I remember the pain every time the doctor tried to put anything metal on me.
Mm.
So he then went to, oh, that's what he said. He also remembered when he was still in the hospital and when he was laying in bed, unable to move, an alien, oh, I'm sorry, greenhouse, when he was in the greenhouse, an alien female kind of floated down and he could see her coming down and she blurred through the roof of the greenhouse and landed on him. She had 6 fingers on each hand. And she was wearing skin tight, like leather pleather. No, not pleather, but like, you know, like futuristic pleather, whatever you want to call it.
What?
Yeah. And so she kind of like went to go touch him. When she was went to go touch him, that's when men were coming into the greenhouse to get him to bring him to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And so she disappeared.
Mm.
This happened again when he was in the hospital after the doctor tried giving him examination that night. She came in through the wall. She blurred through the wall. And she came and she touched him. And then he began feeling like he was floating. And then it stopped. Finally, when he got home, he was laying in bed with his wife. And all of a sudden, again, but this time it was the ceiling kind of seemed like it was bulging down like a bubble.
Now, my question is, at any point did he ever ask her, like, hey,
Hey, what's going on? Hey.
who are you? Yeah.
So this is weird. No, he never said he said a word to her.
Okay.
So this is what happened finally. So
And
finally,
was he scared or anything?
he said he wasn't. He felt fine, like it was no big deal.
Okay. Okay. So now she's now showing up. B is now showing up a third time. Now, is she hot?
He did not say. All he says is that he knew she was a female.
Mm.
So, oh, and yes, he was in the hospital when the ceiling started bulging. Not his house. Not yet.
Okay. Is this the third time or?
Yeah, this is the third time. So the
Okay.
ceiling started bulging, and then she came down, and there was like a huge bright light surrounding her.
This is in the hospital.
Yes.
Okay.
And so he started. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Gotcha.
This is when he was laying at home. My
Yeah.
handwriting is rough.
I'm just making sure, 'cause that's how I remember. Okay, go ahead.
So he was at home laying in bed with his wife, and that's when the ceiling started bulging. And then she came down, and he started feeling as if he was floating. And then when he was floating, she got floated underneath him.
Oh,
And
she is thirsty.
she very super thirsty. This woman was like, "There's no alien penises."
I don't know if we could say that on here. Anyway,
So when she floated underneath him, he said, I started having the distinct feeling that we were having sex. And this went on for 40 minutes. And after 40 minutes, she left him cab fare on the bed and left.
hey, seriously, we're in the story. There's alien sex going on. Please tell us what's happening.
So yes, after 40 minutes, he was like, he was back on his bed. And then he woke his wife up and he's like, I don't know what the hell's happening.
He's like, I
I'm
cheated.
not cheating on you. This was the equivalent of rape.
That's right. That's right. I remember thinking that when I first heard it. Okay, so she rapes him. Okay.
Yeah, the alien rapes this guy. So then his wife is like, what? And then she started searching, and he's like, look, and all these strange wounds that that he didn't have when they went to sleep were all over his body, his inner thighs, his lower abdomen. This alien was aggressive.
Well, and she's like, you know what? I don't know who would do this to you voluntarily. Obviously, you paid for it, and I'm not buying this. But go ahead. Yeah, I'm curious what she thought.
Yeah, this guy was like, I'm the best in the universe. So this alien came down for this 40 minutes.
Definitely.
She's welcome.
Okay, so
So
what did she say?
So on the night of July 16th, Meng was laying in bed again. And that's when he heard clicks coming from outside. Like, what the
You
heck?
don't make that sound on here?
What? All right. So he started hearing clicks outside. And he was like, what is this? What is this? He got up and he saw it. It was an alien. Some random ass alien. And the alien's like, tell him, come outside. Come here. So, sure, why not? Hey, hey, strange alien, call me out in the middle of the night. Nothing's going wrong here. So he goes outside, and the alien puts a cloak on him, and he started rising. And he's like, I was like, it was unbelievable. I could see my house, I was floating, and then when we got to a certain point, then we started lowering, and I saw the ship underneath us, and we went through the ship. He held a box that he pressed, and when he pressed it, the door opened up and let them both in. When they went in, the alien took him to another alien who was holding what was looked like a glass box, and in that glass box was like hundreds of floating little rocks. It looked like rocks then. And the alien explained, this is your universe, and this, he points to a rock, and he goes, this is what you know as Jupiter. And this rock that's like was moving very, very slowly on the thing is a meteor. And he's like, I don't understand. He goes, you will. You'll understand tomorrow. He goes, but what you need to know is this kind of thing can happen to your people if you aren't careful and if you aren't vigilant. So Meng's like, cool. When can I see my? It's like, can I see the alien, the female alien? And they said no, she doesn't want to see you. But within 60 years, your son with her will be arriving on a new planet, and perhaps within that 60 years, you'll be able to finally meet him. He'll be something great.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So what turned out to be the meteor and Jupiter was, excuse me, yes, in July 16th, the Shoemaker-Levy 9 comet hit Jupiter, and it hit it with 750 times the nuclear power of Earth. And that's why everybody knew what it was, because it was like, this is insane. This it would surely destroy the planet, but it's not going to destroy Jupiter, so it's fine.
Huh.
But it was nuts. And so
Hmm.
they were like, how did he notice? Like, living in a little village, they don't even have, like, they have one TV in the town. So it's like, and it wasn't all over the news in China that night. So he knew about it before that. He told people before that. So that's one thing that they were like, maybe this guy's tale isn't so false.
Yeah.
The aliens also told him that they came to Earth for three things. They came here for refuge, to hide out. They came here to investigate the Earth itself and its climate.
Hmm.
And finally, they came here to basically collect human DNA,
Hmm.
and that was basically, that's the reasoning for them to be here. That they chose this man because they landed where they landed, and this man happened to be something special, but he didn't explain what. So then they just send him on his way. He woke up again in his bed, told everybody what happened, and they brought him to have a polygraph test.
Hmm.
Now, when they did the polygraph test, they had him hypnotized, and everything he said came out true on the polygraph test. He explained, even though they just showed him on that little glass box, and remind you, the man only had a fifth grade education.
Hmm.
He explained the exact diameters of the comet, the exact positioning, how much force it sent out, and everything that hit Jupiter.
Hmm.
Now, normal people don't know these things. Normal people could not know these things unless, like, they memorized it, but there was nowhere to memorize these things, and especially in such a small period of time. Now, here's the thing. Meng, you would think that he would be famous and everything, but he says that this whole entire experience ruined his life, completely
Hmm.
ruined his life, ruined his family's life, everything.
Yeah.
People were so skeptical of him, calling him a liar, saying that he wanted nothing but fame. But he's like, I don't want fame. I was like, what the hell am I going to do with that? His
Yeah.
daughter got very,
I remember he wasn't the type to care about any of that. But go ahead.
So his daughter got ridiculed in school. She had to drop out of school because it was so bad, and they had to move out of their village and move somewhere else. He doesn't want to speak about it anymore. Like I said, he said it was the worst experience. It ruined everything in his family, and now he's just an administrator at a restaurant.
Oh my God. It sounds like he had fun with them, except for when, the way people reacted then. And, if you're watching, Meng, you're always welcome here and to watch our videos, because that's exactly why I created this channel, so that expanding minds have a place to go to not feel judged. So this is fascinating. I feel so bad for what happened to him. Although I don't think it's the experience itself, like I said, itself that was bad. I think he kind of had a good time, except for the aftermath of people. By the way, this DNA that they're collecting, um, is it just like male DNA, if you know what I'm saying, or is like what's going on with this DNA thing?
They didn't say.
Hmm.
I'm assuming it's only male. It's like,
Well, I've heard other stories, but I'm just wondering, is it just to reproduce, or like, what's going on there? Is it like to study us? Like they know what we are. How do they not know at this point? I don't know. I don't know. I guess they're
no. Only thing I know is that these damn aliens need to be brought up on charges of all this mass rape because they don't care apparently.
well, that's why they don't show themselves. They don't have time for laws, okay? So,
It's like maritime law. When they get out to a certain point in the ocean or the universe, they're like, "Hey, laws don't apply here. Whatever happens, happens."
it's just oh, his story is so fascinating. I've heard many stories where women were pregnant and then it got taken in some way or another, and
Yeah.
and that they have multiple up there that they've met and then can't see again. I mean, it's really touching if you hear about it. The stories of these people, they're not trying to seek fame, and they never were, and a lot of them were not into any of this prior to it happening. If someone's really closed-minded and this happened to them, they probably never know because their consciousness isn't open enough to go seek out a regression therapist. You know what I mean? They just be like, oh, I don't know what I did from 3 to 5 that day. Oh, well, or they might not even notice. Like you probably have a million kids on another planet because they just don't notice. Like you just don't notice that like a week went by.
Yes, another planet. Anyway,
Hmm. Well, you
yeah,
have
no,
that.
but it's like, can't they just come and ask? What is with all this terrible alien freaking pushing themselves on people? It's unnecessary.
Oh, you think it's gonna be like so welcome? Like, I mean, I do think they should come and just hang out a little first instead of just like going right for it. I mean, my God. I mean, I thought we've evolved at that point. If they're us from the future, I guess not. Also like hang out, but also like talk a little. Like, what the hell? You
Yeah, they're
know,
really skipping some steps.
they can't just show up and be like, tonight? Like, what is that? Like, all right, well, money? If it's going to be like, I mean, I'm not saying to do this. I'm just saying, like, what's in it for the human? It's not like they get to be with their alien baby. Like, it's just like, let me take some of you and I'm going to go. And this is a one-way street. And that's how it's going to be. Like, well, he was given a tour, which is nice, of the world a little and some hangout time. That's nice.
See, I don't know if that tour was what he thought. I think that tour was like, hey, shut up about the rape. It's like, you got what you needed. Nothing needs to be told to the cops.
like like it's like a sugar daddy like bringing you on his like private jet, and it's like, I can give you anything, just don't say anything.
It's like, hey, these doors can open and you can have a cape to float down, or you could don't have a cape to go down. It's up to you, buddy. Yeah, like I don't understand why they can't just go to like a sperm clinic or an egg clinic and just rob it. Why do they gotta forcefully just rape these people?
I guess that's their process in terms of like the whole experience. In terms of their version of foreplay, it's just like rape. um, I guess it's better than a CVS, where you just grab your stuff and go. They like to terrify people. Um, Katy Perry had a song about this. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
I
With
remember when
Kanye.
it came out, and I'm like, is anybody hearing this? Everybody's just like singing along, and I'm like, yeah, but like, do you know what you're singing to? Like, everyone's like, you're so weird to talk about aliens. You're singing about having sex with one, which is fine, but then don't say I'm weird.
Yeah, but they're talking about consensual sex, not the kind of sex that aliens really like. They apparently do not like consensual sex. Not at all.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of a gray line in that song too, which I think is part of the allure. I don't know, but you're right.
But yeah,
We do. Okay, I'm sorry. We do have to wrap up soon due to Zoom.
oh, sorry. Yeah, but what I was gonna say is like when I first saw this, I thought this guy was just like boasting that he's like the greatest in the world. It's like, yeah. So this female alien came down and we had sex for like 40 minutes, and she was like, "You're the best." And that's why she came here. But
Yeah,
apparently no.
40 minutes. Like, let's get real.
Yes, that is an
What?
obscene amount of time. Agree.
I mean, this isn't your like everyday vanilla, jollies happening. Like, this is like a little more exciting. I mean, actually, wouldn't it be more worrisome if it was under a minute, given that man's age and the fact that it's an alien? But like, but yeah, that's the other thing. 40 minutes. Aliens are smart. Did they really need that long to get that done? I mean,
This man gave this alien. This alien gave this alien. I'm sorry. This man gave this alien so much pleasure that she could not stop. This could have been done in like a few minutes, but she's like, nope. I'm gonna use my alien powers to keep you going for 40 minutes.
I also find it interesting. It's one child. I guess they're not that different than us.
Who knows? But it's like she came down here, she raped you, she never wants to see you again, and she gave birth to a kid of yours and that you won't see maybe for 60 years, if 60 years. And he's like, it ruined my life. I loved her.
Also, let's keep in mind that she kept trying to hunt him down and try to rape him at least 3 times before actually doing it. She was determined, and it was him.
She really was determined. I'm wondering if it's the exact same alien. I think it was. I think he said it was the exact same one. It's like,
Oh, it's got to be. I mean, he can't be like the pimp daddy of Alien World. Also, like, what's with them like going like this and like making him like convulse and like being like, back up, back up, back up, just from looking in their direction from like 60 miles away. But then they'll be like, you know what we want to do? Do you want something to do with us? Completely merge. Like, what? There's no gray area. Like, where was the bridge?
unless they did that because those were the guy aliens and they were jealous because their stuff doesn't work. And so they're like, this is the man that'll pleasure the universe.
Well, guys, I hate to cut this short. Him and I would love to stay on with you and continue hanging. However, Zoom has new policies where they kick us off pretty soon. I only have a couple minutes to just say, tune in next time. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next groundbreaking story. Please like if you got anything at all out of this content, even if it was just a good time. Share would be phenomenal for us and for you to expand the consciousness of another as well as for the other. And if you want to further donate for the existence of our channel so we can keep making reports and putting out content for you, that would be absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful in my heart. If any miraculous donation was ever made, I still have the link currently in the description box. I always remember when that happens. It actually enlightens me from the inside out and continues to fuel me on my soul mission, which is sharing these stories that have not been proven wrong to you. And if something has been proven wrong, we will either not share it or share that it has, which has gotten me in a lot of trouble. 60,000 views later on that. But yeah, if you're interested in the TikTok exposure, you can check it out on my channel. It has almost 60,000 views, but really check out the second one I posted that further explains how Javier from 2027 is really pulling all that off. But yeah, actually we have a couple more minutes. We just have like 2 more minutes. But yeah, so we might as well make use of it. So I don't know, Tommy, I I want to say I'd be down for this experience. Yeah, we got 3 minutes.
For alien rape?
See, I'm scared to say anything because I don't know what I'm in for. You know, I don't know about the rape part. But I do want to maybe like coffee with one would be nice. Like there was no middle ground between them being like back the up, okay, and being completely rapey. You know, there was no Starbucks, there was no texting, there was no hello, is it me? You know, I can't do it, I'll get sued. But yeah, I mean, can't they do some middle ground? Like nice
Apparently not.
practical things, you know?
The female aliens are super aggressive, apparently. I think that they're the ones that do the love making, and the men can't. They're like, it would suck for you because they're like, here's a machine. Let's go ahead and suck that out. Boop-a-doo, scoopity-doo. Nothing works here anyway, so hope you had a good time. We're gonna pop out a bunch of babies with your eggs. And meanwhile, the guys are like 40 minutes of just like pleasure. All right, get the hell out of here.
Did he say it was pleasurable?
He just says it feels like they were having intercourse. I'm guessing because he was sleeping next to his wife that whole time, and he's not going to be like, "Oh, this is amazing. Oh, so good, Ming
Yeah.
Lee, you are not good."
Yeah,
Compared to that alien.
He's not going to be like, and it was good. It
Yeah.
was very, very good.
He's like looking. His wife is just sitting right next to him. He's like, "It was the best sex I've ever had in my life. I have never had anything to compare it to. What I like. I wish that she can come back and we could just go at it again."
All right. On
She
that note,
really
guys,
like,
we do have to wrap up. Not only because of the content that is now bringing one up a little too much, but because of Zoom's time policy. So love you guys so much. Can't wait to see you next week. Every Tuesday at 4 EST, which is your standard time. So who knows what time it is for you? Okay, gotta go. Bye.
Bye.